Okay, in this demo video, I'm going to show you guys how to use the cross-hatching technique in order to complete this value scale. And before we really tackle it, the cross-hatching technique is super similar to the hatching technique where we're using lines, but because it is cross-hatching, there are actually going to be multiple lines. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to write how many lines are going to be in each right here. So in here, it's going to be only one line. This is going to be 2 lines. This one right here is going to be 2 lines. This is 3 lines. This is 3 lines. And then the darkest value is actually going to have 4 lines. Okay, and so these lines are going to go in different directions. That's what that means. It doesn't mean we're only going to be drawing one line. No, that's not what that means. It means we're going to be only drawing one directional line. And actually, to keep this as easy as possible, we're going to start with the lightest and then move towards the darkest. So over here we did darkest to lightest. This time we're going to go ahead and go backwards, so lightest to darkest. So over here we have only one line that we're going to be adding. So this one line that we are adding, it's going to be the vertical line, and it's just going to be like this with a bit of space. We are going to add more lines than we did over here for the hatching. There's only 3 lines in that box. Over here we're going to be adding more than those 3. Okay, so this is going to give that kind of lighter look. For the next box, we're not only going to be drawing these vertical lines, we're actually going to draw a second directional line. And the second directional line is going to be the horizontal line. So right here, it's going to look like a grid. And we're leaving it with a bit of space. And so that's what that one's going to look like. Okay, so it essentially looks a little bit darker than that first box because we have that second box. For this third box, it's going to be the same directional lines, vertical and horizontal, but now the lines are going to be closer together. So over here, and I'm trying not to smear it. So right here we're going up this way. And I'm putting them closer together, as you can see. Okay, and now we're going to go in and we're adding the horizontal lines. But now the horizontal lines are closer together. Okay, so it's still those 2 lines, but now they're just closer together. We're going to go in and now we're going to be adding a third line. The third line is actually going to be a directional line, so it's going to be a diagonal line. So here we go, and I'm going to go ahead and just add like a little piece of paper here so that I don't smear around. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put this here just so that I'm not moving and smearing it. So we're going to have not only our vertical lines, and I'm going to do this off camera. Okay, so I finished the rest of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the horizontal lines. And then I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. Okay, so this is what we should have. Again, the lines are slightly closer together than they were over here. And now we're actually going to add a different line. It's going to be a diagonal line. So it's going to go this way. So from left to right. And we're just going to do that all way down the square. Okay. And we're going to apply the same directional lines, only this time we're going to put them slightly closer together over here. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm adding those vertical lines one more time. And again, make sure that they are nice and close together. I'm going to do the rest of this off the camera. Okay, so we have those vertical lines. We're going to go ahead and start adding the horizontal lines now. So right here. And remember, they're nice and close to one another. And I'm going to do the rest of this off the camera. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're still going to add the same directional line. So it's still going to go from left to right, only now these are going to be really close together to make it appear slightly darker. Okay, and then this is the very last one we're going to do, and we're still going to create these same lines. So it's still going to be a vertical line, it's still going to be a horizontal line and a diagonal line, and we're going to add a second diagonal line going in the opposite direction. So over here we have our vertical lines, and these are going to be very close together, so make sure that you are keeping that in mind. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. Okay, so we have our vertical lines. We're going to go in with our horizontal lines. Okay, now we're going in and we're still going diagonal. And these are fairly close to one another. Okay, and then the last diagonal line is actually going to go like this. So in the opposite direction. So now that one is the darkest. So this one has a total of 4 directional lines. This 3 directional, 3, 2, and 2. So we go from darkest to lightest.